April 7th, Georgia prosecutors found a box everyone thought was gone, meaning the oldest mistake in Sonny Bharadia's case was suddenly back. Inside sat a sealed assault kit untouched for 25 years. Ask why nobody tested what was already there. The decision was simple on paper: shelve the gloves and move on, because in 2001, skin cell DNA testing could barely help them. Before the file became a lawsuit, a woman had a normal night, and after the attack, investigators had one object they could hold. Sonny Bharadia said he was hundreds of miles away, but the courtroom heard Sterling Flint, and the case turned around him. Bharadia was convicted in 2003, and life started counting differently. 22 years is not a statistic, it is a small town's worth of mornings. Then the gloves were swabbed, and the DNA did not match him. It matched Flint, and now the box was only the beginning. And on April 7th, the file reopened without any confession. It reopened because a box everyone thought gone was sitting there. And inside that box was the kit prosecutors had never tested, had evidence the courtroom never heard. Back in 2003, a jury heard another man's word instead, while Sonny Bharadia kept saying he was hundreds of miles away. So the first cascade was not dramatic, it was administrative. Gloves sat in records while DNA science moved on, and by the time skin cell testing improved, the story changed. The DNA did not match Bharadia, and that is where you stop, because the next match pointed towards Sterling Flint's own witness, not just a man near the property, but the genetic hit. So by 2024, the conviction could not carry its own weight, and now the prosecutor must decide what that box really means. Because by April 7th, box does what a courtroom never did. Because evidence everyone treated as gone is suddenly sitting in plain view. And that means the old conviction was not just broken, it was built around things nobody can now explain cleanly. The district attorney has to rebuild the file from the floor up, while every name in that file now carries a different weight. Because the gloves did not point back to Sonny Bharadia, they pointed to Sterling Flint, a man the state had relied on. And if you are following that, the mistake is not abstract anymore. It is a woman whose case stayed unfinished for 25 years. And a man who lost 22 years to the wrong answer. Legal pushback arrives late, but it finally arrives with paperwork, and paperwork cannot give back the years it took away, which is why one sealed box now carries more than evidence. And this April, that missing box came back into the room, and suddenly the case was not only about 22 lost years. It was about the evidence that sat beside those years, because inside it was a sealed kit that had never been tested. So now you can see the mistake differently, not as one bad verdict, but as a chain of choices. First, the gloves waited until the science could catch them. Then that result pointed away from Bharadia and toward Flint, the same Flint whose word helped build the case against him. That's why prosecutors are rebuilding the file from the floor up, because charging someone now means trusting evidence that vanished once. And for the survivor, it means the file opens again, while for Bharadia, it has a paper trail behind it. The box is open now, and the next name starts inside it.